Hello. Hey, good morning. This is Rhoda Stevens, family nurse practitioner and owner of Jordan Family Clinic in Fort Worth, Texas. With Texas getting ready to open back up this week or in the next few weeks, I just wanted to stop by and talk about something which I hope will be beneficial to everyone watching. Last week I read an article which said mental illness is the inevitable next pandemic, right? Mental illness is the inevitable next pandemic. And interestingly, as much as I'll hate to admit it, I have to agree with that. Simply because in the past couple of weeks, let's say the past month that we've been dealing with the whole coronavirus, I have seen an escalation in the number of patients we see with mental health issues, from uncontrolled anxiety and depression. It's either getting worse in people who've had it before, or patients are experiencing it for the first time and just not sure how to deal with it. And I figured if I'm having such an increase in the number of patients with mental health issues in my practice, I can imagine what's happening on a global level. So I thought I'll stop by with Texas opening up. I've had a lot of people already call and concerned about, what precautions they can take and what they need to do. Because as a healthcare provider, I have to admit, with it opening up, there's probably going to be a spike in numbers because people are going to be out and about together and the virus is going to spread. So it is what it is. All you can do is take some steps to protect yourself. Now, we'll talk about the practical things, and almost everybody's talking about the practical things you can do to protect yourself from getting the virus. Today, I do want to talk about what you can do to protect your mental health, because if your mind is fragmented and if you cannot think or function properly, it's going to affect your physical health and it's going to decrease your immune system, right? Fear and stress has been known to decrease the immune system, and now more than ever, you need to make sure your body is functioning at top level to be able to handle anything that's going to be thrown at you. So, like everyone else, I've been struggling too. There's a lot of unknowns going on, either family life, business, and everything. So here are a few things that I do, and I hope will be helpful to you just to help navigate this season. So first, as a Christian, whenever I'm having a height in or an increase in just anxiety, the first thing I do is pray or listen to worship music, right? That is a quick way to turn off all the movement. Let me just put it that way, all the movement in my brain and trying to figure things out. And I'm like, you know what? Take a break, listen to some worship music, pray. That's what it is for me. What is it for you? Everybody has an activity that they do that helps settle you down, right? Some people is reading a book, some people is watching movies, some people it's yoga or meditation, some people is listening to music. What is it for you that helps you cope mentally? And once you know what that is, be intentional about it. This is not a season where you can wait for the news to throw something at you and you panic and try to find that calm place. But what I've done is really be intentional every day about setting my mind right, either with some worship music or prayer, just to get the day started on a right note. So no matter what is thrown at me, with all the information changing, I'm just like, it is what it is. It's gonna pass. How can we deal with it? Let's move right along, right? But this brings me to my next suggestion: exercise. For some people, how to cope is exercise. I've known people to get through depression simply by taking up running or something like that. Reese Witherspoon said it best in Legally Blonde when she said, exercise induces endorphins. Endorphins makes you happy. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't kill their husbands, right? And in the movie, it turned out to be true. However, even in real life, exercise releases what I choose to call happy hormones that tend to elevate your mood, right? And just make you feel and think with more clarity. So this is a time where, one, raiding the refrigerator or raiding the liquor cabinet is not gonna help, right? Because we're just gonna end up with an obesity pandemic or a liver disease pandemic. It's already bad the way it is. So this is not a season to indulge in those bad habits. And I know it's easy to do it, right? But as soon as the food digests and the carbs get away, as soon as the alcohol processes, you're right back where you started. So it's very important to find sustainable habits during this season, right? So if you've not taken up exercise, this is a good way to do it. Now I know we're in a house and most people would say we cannot exercise, but honestly, you can, right? If you have stairs, go up and down the stairs, run around your house, turn on YouTube and look for walking videos for 30 minutes. And I promise you, you're gonna find something that you can do out of the comfort of your own home. And just doing that, even if it's in place, trust me, it's gonna make you feel better, right? The third thing is think your way through. This is the best time to plan for the future. As much as I hate to admit it, the coronavirus will come and go, but something else will arise that can cause this much havoc and instability to our system as a whole, right? So what can you do to make sure you navigate the next pandemic, that comes through? And it might not be medical, but life happens, right? What can you do to prevent this from happening or affecting you? I know people who have told me this whole pandemic has not really affected me at all. And some people have profited and actually profited in this season. So what can you do now to make sure in the future, if something like this happens, you're one of those people, right? If you've always wanted to start a podcast, write a book, start a YouTube channel, I don't know what your dreams have been that you've put on hold simply because you did not have the time to do it. I believe this is the time to put things in place, right? Most people have time on their hands. Even with the state opening up, we're not opening up to full capacity. So there's still a lot of people who are gonna be home and just have time. So write that book. Think your way and be creative. What can I do in this season to push myself further? Do I need to learn how to budget? Do I need to come up with a strategy for saving more? How can I make more money? What can I do for my family to make sure that the next pandemic or the next pandemic, it doesn't have to be medical, or the next disaster, let me put it that way, that comes through this system does not affect me or my family to this extent? How can I be one of the people that actually profit and benefit during this season, right? And last but not the least, talk to your provider. We're here to help and support you during this season. I do appreciate the people who have reached out and say, hey, this is just too stressful. I'm having a hard time focusing. It's affecting my work. Even working from home, it's becoming hard. What can you do to help me navigate this season? And I know not everybody is a proponent for medications, but I know they do have their place in therapy, right? There's therapy, there's counseling, and there's medications that you can take that can help you. However, I'm a strong believer that medications can only take you so far. So what can you do to help you cope even without medications? Because sometimes people can't tolerate the side effects, or they simply just don't work for some people. So you can try some of the other things I mentioned to kind of help you cope and develop better coping mechanisms to work your way through some of your issues, so you're not always dependent on medication. But if you do, we're here to help you, right? You should have a provider that you can talk to and be honest with, because let's be real, mental illness or stress, anxiety can affect us physically. I've known people to develop stress ulcers in the stomach, or just different physical ailments that we cannot find anything else wrong, but they're just so stressed, it's starting to affect their body. So you don't want this season not only to cause a mental health issue, but also cause more physical issues in your body because you've not learned how to manage your mental health. So, and another thing you can do, talk to a trusted family member or friend. This is a season where you need to be keeping close contact with people you trust and can be vulnerable with. You want to talk to them and encourage each other. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are struggling. So be a support system, not just for yourself, but for someone else. When you talk to someone else, it helps relieve some of the pressure. You can brainstorm and get ideas together on how you can survive mentally, right, during this season. Okay, I hope that was helpful to you. Everybody, y'all stay safe. Stay mentally sane, okay? Because you don't want to lose your mind. You need it to be able to survive the next phase of your life. But stay safe, stay healthy. Take care. Bye.